platform. Thank you so much for giving me your time as I introduce my guest, Ade Marvel from. Okay, Mr. Ade.
Are we on? 100%?
We are live. Yes. Thank you so much for giving me your time as I introduce my guest, Ade Marvel from. Okay, Mr. Ade. Okay, Mr. Ade.
Are we on? 100%?
We are live.
100%?
We are live. Yes, we are live. Thank you so much for giving me your time as I introduce my guest, Ade Marvel from platform. Thank you so much for giving me your time as I introduce my guest, Ade Marvel from Canada, and he's going to come here and share his expert knowledge on residual income.
Are we on?
But I let him do
100%?
We are live. Yes, my name is we are live. Yes, we are live. Thank you so much. So delighted to be coming your way. I love residual income. If you've got residual base, you want residual income. Mr. Ade, please introduce yourself to our audience and the team. Thank you, sir.
How are you guys doing? Good morning from where I am. Good evening from where you might be listening to us right now. My name is Ade Mabo. I'm a pretty simple guy. I'll give you guys my story. I used to be a corporate 9-to-5 guy, and I worked for one of the biggest companies here in Canada. My last company was the biggest bank for the state of Alberta, the oil producing part of Canada. And my company was really good to me. They significantly paid for my personal development in terms of personal professional development, up of the way that they paid to send me to Harvard University for 3 straight years to study strategy, and they paid for everything. Everything seems to be good until oil prices dropped from $129 to less than 29 about 6 years ago. And then what happened is my entire executive team got laid off, all of us, within 3 months of that oil prices happened. This is a company that's invested significantly on me. When that was done, I started asking myself, why would somebody have control on what time I wake, how much money I make, what time I go on vacation? Economy goes up, economy goes down. You're like, it's like a royal room. I wanted to be a little bit more free. I wanted to do something more exciting. So I started defining to myself, what is freedom? Freedom is, to me, is, okay, if this is an X amount of money it costs me to run my home, let me have that amount of money plus X, what that means, or plus Y. What that means is I can sort out everything I need to sort out from home, and I have a little extra. That gives me enough time to think, to do more. I vowed I was never going to go back to regular 9-to-5 after that. And I was going to spend a significant part of my time building ways that I can make money, things that I love and enjoy doing, so I can stay home with my son. I can travel as much as I like, and I can talk as much as I like. And the last 6 years has been a journey. It was up until recently, about a year and a half ago, I found out, wow, we've done it. Now we can be free. And after that, I will be spending this time sharing this journey with people, teaching people the basics of how to be done, and all the mistakes we've made, what we did wrong, what we did right. And here we are right now sharing this opportunity. And I want to give it back to Miss Gladys Osage for putting together an incredible event like this and helping people as much as she can as well to be free, as much as some of us have been. And I am just a residual income builder, and I enjoy living life on that basis. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Ade, for sharing your story so quick. Thank you. So the purpose of putting this amazing show is to educate people, is to talk to people why we need to build residual income. Like I put it in the event, the title of this event, residual income, time to build is now. But actually, time to build residual income is yesterday. So I want to ask you this question: with all that's going on around the world, how are you going to tell people right now, people who have this 9-to-5 commitment, how will they be able to see the need of residual income and being able to add it to their 9-to-5 schedule? What will you say to people who are not yet educated regarding residual income?
Fantastic. And if you allow me, I'm going to use people's stories to be able to get into into answering some of your questions. So The first thing that you first want to understand is everything they've told you up until now is not completely correct. It is correct, but not completely correct. That you have to be born, go to school, graduate, get a job, stay there for 40 years, retire, get 2 weeks vacation a year. Some people can live their life like that, but you do have a freedom to alter that. And one of the ways, and this is an identity core. So inside your DNA identity, somebody has imprinted on it. The same way they imprint on it, you have to like a particular type of food. Doesn't mean the other food is not good. It's just that this is what your parents ate. This is the religion they did. It's an indoctrination. They've indoctrinated into your mind that this is the way to go. So it's an identity core problem. So what that means is the first thing you want to first do is to change that identity. Start believing there's an alternative. And this is the reason why I like Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn, go on YouTube, or go on Audible and get the complete works of Jim Rohn. It's only $20 or something, and it's free on YouTube. And listen to Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn too was a regular 9-to-5 guy, and he said, and he keeps saying, hey, I am working my regular 9-to-5 to make a living, but I have my 5 to 9 to build a fortune. And he kept saying the story. If he does something new with his income, he shows people, say, hey, I bought this building my fortune. I'm building my fortune from 5 to 9. So typically the first thing is change the identity, your core. Meaning, yes, I'm going to keep my job, but I'm going to be doing something 5 to 9 other than my 9-to-5. And this is building my fortune. My 9-to-5 is going to be building my living. My 5 to 9 is going to be building my fortune. Meaning I can do something on the side alongside what I do up until the time what I do on the side of my part-time income can match what I do regularly. Once that match happens, you are near to freedom. So residual income or freedom building is not you making $1 million. You can make $1 million doing it, 2,500,000, live, own a boat and a yacht. Freedom is defined as, what is it that if I sleep the whole month, it will take care of all my bills? How much is that? Is that month 5,000 euros to you? Is it $5,000? Is it 5,000 pounds? Whatever that number is, once you attain that number, it gives you something called time. Once you have a lot of time on your side, you become very, very creative, because now there's nothing pressurizing you. You have all this time in your hands. You're spending the time with your friends and family. Then you can start genuinely be creating things that can create bigger plans for you. So step number 1, keep your job, keep your husband, keep your kids, don't change them. Step number 2, start building you as a person. Because if you don't take care of the identity, the subconscious mind, your core, if you will hit roadblocks and you go back to the comfortable level. For you to move from residual, from regular 9-to-5 to 5 to 9 and residual, you will need to alter yourself from being comfortable to being a little bit uncomfortable, because you're going to be doing things that is not your regular things that you do. So you have to start investing first on your personal development. My students, first thing I tell them is, let us get you to the roadmap of personal development so that we can alter your core. Once we start altering their core, some of them will take them 1 month, some 2 months, some 3 months. We transition them into now their first trial on residual income. And some of them will try both at the same time. Their personal development, where we're changing their core, and we bring in the residual at the same time in the process of doing that. So keep everything the same way it is, but start knowing that if they tell you you only need 3 weeks a year vacation or 4 years, they just lie to you. The world is so beautiful. There's no way you can see the world if you only have 3 weeks vacation every single year. It means in 20 years, you've only had three times whatever it is, 21 times 20. That's less than 400 days. There's no way you can live the ultimate life that you want to be able to live doing that. So change your core. Start investing in yourself in terms of personal development. And then that will let you know that it's possible. And then, of course, we can start showing you the multiple ways that you can, start getting into the world of residual income. I personally started from one industry, and I moved that one industry to over 11 industry right now that I make residual from independently. And I'm going to tell you my rules as we go along the line.
So keep it. So I like it to be a freestyle. Keep sharing. Don't hold anything back.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank
as
you.
we go along the line. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And if there are questions from the audience, they type it out. I can address it and stuff like that. And if you just want me to be able to break the basics of the residual income down, I can get you in there. step by step, how we got into that market. Again, like I said, I started with changing my core by doing a lot of personal development and knowing that something else is possible. And in the process of doing that, I found out that scarcity was created by man. God is always in the world of abundance. The universe has abundance. The water never stops flowing. The air never stops. Have you ever had a shortage of breath or air? It's always there. The sea is always there. They never finish. The mountains are always there. It's never finished. So the universe created abundance. Man created scarcity. We've been locked into scarcity. We need to move ourselves out of scarcity into the mind of abundance. And abundance is what you make it to be. Either it's $1 billion, $1 million, $100,000. It's your call what your abundance would be. And then from there, we start formulating rules on what do I need to do to earn residual? What are the steps? How do I look at it? What industry is it? And in the process of doing that, I set up something called Sweet in the Middle. I have few rules and principles that I set up to guide myself on what I need to be able to do. One of my rules is called the 5-on-5 rule, meaning that I do not want to put more than 5 hours of my time on anything that would not pay me as much as $5,000 every month. 5 hours of my time for it to pay me $5,000 every month. Another principle that I created is something called the Sweet in the Middle. How do I get to be the guy who lives in the shared economy that I don't get to produce anything at all? I could just sit and let A do what A knows how to do best. Let C do what C knows how to do best. And I can sit in the middle as B and connect A to C. I can give you so many examples. Airbnb. You don't have to own an hotel. They didn't have to build the hotels. C had the homes. A had the demand for a place to stay. Airbnb stayed in the middle, being in B, and connected A to C, and they make money doing that. Uber did the same thing. Turo did the same thing. Amazon did the same thing. So, and there are a lot of ways that you can do that, of course, in multiple industries as you go along the line. And I can give you examples over examples and over examples in multiple industries, and then bring you back to the core of where I started my residual income from, which is indirect sales, and how that falls into the confines of the Sweet in the Middle.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Ade. Boss Lady Vivian, do you have any question in particular that you'd like to ask Ade Marvel?
In terms of overcoming objections, how did you overcome objections?
So when you say objections, define what objections is.
No, it's not my thing. Can you hear me?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So now you're saying you've gotten into the core and you've decided this is one of the ways you want to. So first of all, there are multiple ways of earning residual income. It's not locked up into one way, right? Not locked up into one way at all. You can make residual income almost anything. I give you an example. Somebody called me up and he owns a trucking company, and he says, hey, you know what? I own a trucking management company. And if you give me this certain type of truck, this is the type of returns that will come out of it over time. And you will own the truck, you own the insurance, you own almost everything. Anything crazy, it all belongs back to you, but we would manage it and we'll pay you a certain amount of money. I always say there are two ways to get into residual income. You can have capital to do it. A lot of people don't have capital to do it. Or you can have sweat equity. Sweat equity is saying, I will roll up my sleeve, I will go to work, and I'll get it done, right? So if you are in the world of direct sales, right, which is what I am sensing your question is getting towards, you don't need any capital, very little, almost nothing, but you roll up your sleeves and get to work. Yes, there will be objections. Yes, there's going to be a lot of, few people who would not buy into your idea, but it does not remove the fact that these people don't use the product or the service that you offer on a daily basis. They like it or not. So the way that you give it to them is where they could object, not the product or the service, because the product or the service, they need it, they use it, they have it. There's no way they can't tell you, well, I don't like the product, or I don't like the service, it doesn't exist. It's the method that they get to be able to present it to them. I like that objection because it makes you stronger in the path of residual income. My first residual income opportunity that I spent a significant amount of time building was in the world of direct sales. Guess what? I got all those same objections. It got me tougher. The more that it became harder for me, the more that I started working on my personal development. And I found out that less than 10% of the world rules over 90% of the rest of the others. The reason why these 10% are unique is because they are comfortable doing what is not comfortable. right? They're comfortable being uncomfortable. They will go out there and get stuff done. The other 90%, they're going to give you excuses, the reason why my mother died, oh, somebody didn't call my name well, I got sad, so therefore I'm dropping off. You're going to find it. So in the process of this objection, what you're looking for is you're waiting for leaders, because when leaders come, they will get objected, don't take it personal, they soften off their shift, they keep going. So would you ever get out of objection? Of course not. If anybody ever tell you, well, there's not going to be objection in the part, especially when you pick the part of direct sales, they're not telling you the truth. It's going to be there. But every single book of no, which is objection, every person will tell you no. Every single book of no is an addition to your book of yes. So when I'm searching through people, I'm going to over 100 people, maybe in the process of developing my own direct sales business, I know that if the world says 90% of people would want to be on the average and only 10% will be voted off to, it means that in every 10 that I meet, 9 is going to be on the 90% and 1 is going to be on the, and every 100 people I meet, 90 is going to be on the left and 10 is going to be on the right. So I'm going through the objection to find my 10, or I'm going through my objection to go through my 10 to be able to find my 1. It's inevitable, but that's where you build character. Character is what you build in the process of objection. You're trying to build your character, your persistence, your perseverance, your hard work, your long-term thinking. That's how you build it. If not, if it were weak and cheap and anybody could get it, every Joe, Jack, Tommy, everybody could be it. So what makes you unique is your own ability to keep going. My mentor, Napoleon Hill, in the book Think and Grow Rich, it says, persistence is the mother and father of good luck. You want to have good luck? Be persistent. What that means is every road that comes your way, you're in the middle of a battle. Anything that comes out there at you, be prepared to be like, no matter what comes in right in front of me, I'm going to keep going and keep going until I get it done. I'll give you an example. I went to go build part of my business in Mexico. My company launched a new talc one day, launched it in Mexico. And I'm like, building my Residual. And I flew into Mexico. I never speak a word of Spanish. I never spoke. I've never even been to Mexico before. All I knew was Carlos Slim made money this way. I can make money that way. And I was ignorant enough to get on the plane to go build a new business in Mexico. So I went online. I found a translator. I got a 2-bedroom apartment. My translator was in one. I was in one. And where I go, they were directing me. They were like my high. They understood the language. They were the ones showing me left, right, and everything. And I woke up one morning, and my translator had gone. When my translator gone, they went with everything. They took my phone. They took my all the product that I was working with. They took everything, all the cash with me, everything. No phone, no cash, no nothing. In a country that I don't know the difference between my left and my right, and I don't speak a word of the language. The only thing they left with me was my passport. So I had my Canadian passport, no money, no phone, no line, no way to communicate with anybody in the middle of nowhere, right? But I found a way. I got on the street and I started asking, is anybody who speaks English? Anybody who speaks English? Anybody who speaks English? Apparently, I got someone who spoke English. They took me to a particular bank and I asked them to use their phone. I called my wife and I asked her to Western Union money to me because I had my passport. That was the first step. Guess what? Don't let me bore you with the story. Mexico became my largest market up until tomorrow. You do the work one time, you still put in a little bit of effort, it's giving you money. Royalty is you do the work one time, you don't even put any effort anymore, it just begins to continue to pay you over and over and over and over again. So if objection or rejection or disappointment was the reason for me to be able to give up, I wouldn't have created the largest market that I created. Mexico created Colombia for me. Colombia created Peru for me. And that way, I broken completely into the Latin American markets. Would you find it? Of course. Would there be difficulty on the journey? A lot. But of course, it does not stop the facts that helps you to create the success that you're looking for. So every time you find objection on the road, be excited about it. Blessed be to God. And this is not just in the world of direct sales. It's in the world of everything greatness. In the world of everything greatness. If you listen to every single story of everybody that has broken through, they've gone through that same process itself. And they've been there and they've been like, oh my God, they've crossed that order. So you hear somebody trying to create electricity, Alexander Bell, and he's done it 999 times and failed, and it kept going. You hear Mark Zuckerberg building Facebook and calling for a meeting, and people didn't show up. Only 2 people showed up. Only 2 people became billionaire with them. Steve Jobs, guys that started with him, one of them quit. He sold off his shares for $600 or something. That shares is worth 7.2 billion today. I can give you stories and stories and stories of people starting from the garage, people going up on them, having challenges, but they kept going and going and going. Again, Napoleon Hill. Persistence is the father, is the persistence. Good is the father and mother of good. You need to keep going. So, and I can give you stories and stories and stories of things that would happen on your journey if you're in the world of direct sales, and how to be able to overcome that obstacles. But even if you're not in the world of direct sales and you're in the world of other ways of other industries of creating residual income, you're still going to have those challenges. The road is not for the weak or the meek.
Yeah.
To be done in the process of going through. If anybody ever tells you, well, it's going to be so easy, you're just going to wake up and you're just going to be so pretty. Oh God, they've just not told you the truth. We're looking for champions. We're looking for warriors. We're looking for people who say, listen, I want to be different. I want to live a better life, and I'm willing to be able to pay the sacrifice to be there. And I hope I've answered your question doing that.
Thank you so much. Another question is, sorry, I'm going to boil a little bit. Another one is, was there a time you felt like giving up?
Oh, every day. When I wake up every day, I feel like giving up and I keep going. It's a natural thing. Your mind is always playing double tricks on you at almost every point in time. Your mind is always telling you, well, you're not capable, you don't have enough, maybe why you should keep going, why you shouldn't do this. Sometimes my mentor calls it the terror barrier. You get to a point where you just get terrorized. Fear creeps in. Fear tells you, oh my God, am I wasting my time? Am I wasting my life? Would this thing work? Would it didn't work? And this is not just direct sales, it's almost everywhere. In my other industries, I'm investing significantly in other opportunities that create residual income as well. And I created, a website to teach people how to be able to do this with iamademabo.com. And every time I want to break into the next level, the fear comes in. For 2-3 days, I'm like panicked, like, oh my God, I'm going to fail. This thing's going to crash it. And it's just the way the conscious mind is designed. Until you overcome that and know beyond all reasonable doubt that the abundance is out there, and it's just for you to be able to wake up and grab it, then you understand that this is just fear. It's just an attempt to get you on the panic, put you on the what we call the terror barrier, and get yourself out of that. Terror barrier is from a guy called Bob Proctor. If you're looking him up, reading him up, Bob Proctor talks a lot about the terror barrier, and that's the fear point that gets you to a point where you have to define if you want to keep going or you want to give up on where you are. So yes, every day, at least most days, you're going to wake up and have that feeling of, oh my God, can this work? Will it work for me? And would I be successful doing that?
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. One more question from me before I go, please. You talked about Mexico markets. Tell us, how did you break into Mexico markets? As we see that they have a English problem over there. We have business there as well.
It's very simple. So this is how I got into the Mexico market. Right? When my company was launching in Mexico, I went on Facebook and I asked, is there anybody here who knows anybody in Mexico? Somebody looked up to me and about 8 people responded back. Oh, I know this guy, I know this guy. And I caught up for every single one of them. One of them happened to be my old university classmates that I haven't seen in only God knows 10, 15 years. So, oh, my husband is the ambassador of Nigeria to Mexico. And although he's been transferred to Paraguay, his personal assistant is still in Mexico. This is his number. I called up the guy. He says, hey, I'm launching my new business in Mexico and I'm looking for good people. The guy told me, no, when I left Mexico, I moved to Houston, Texas. So I'm no longer in Mexico. And he's like, but you know what? I'll give you phone numbers of about, he only gave me phone number of about 5 people. And I called every single one of those 5. Every single one of them told me, no, I'm not doing, I'm busy and whatever it is. But one of them picked up and said, listen, I'm at a place in my life right now that I'm looking for something. If this is the right thing, I want to take a look at it. The guy went in, took a look at the opportunity. I haven't even flown into the country yet. He went to go take a look at the opportunity and he got started right away. So I now got into the country to go, help him out, set up almost. That's when that experience happened to me. Because he wasn't staying with me. I didn't know this guy at that time. It was a guy somebody recommended to me on Facebook. But that one guy brought me 167 business partners for me, thousands and thousands of business. He expanded my business into Peru, expanded my business into Colombia. We're now getting to the Argentina market. I didn't have to go to Argentina. These guys are there. doing the work. They did the Peru work, they did the Colombia work, and that's how I expanded into the Latin American country. But because I know that the path to success is not cheap, neither is it easy, neither is it automatic. You have to put in some work. I started learning Spanish. So, entonces, yo hablas mucho español aquí. Now I speak very, very good Spanish for me to survive. I had to go learn the language. And it's not that complicated. There are softwares that will teach you how to be able to speak Spanish if you decide to want to build big business in Latin America.
Wow. Thank you so much, because it's been a problem for me personally. So I'm going to do that as well. And I pray
to just keep going. You can join Facebook groups. You can ask your friends who knows who in what country, and then bit by bit, and then you yourself can start picking up 1 or 2 Spanish language. It's not that complicated. You can learn Spanish as fast as you want if you really, really, really know you want to build out of that market. And the good thing is the market, they don't have as much option as the European market or the North American market. So you can, there are a lot of people looking for opportunity. If you have a good product, they will be there to be able to serve you. Mexico is like my second home now, just because of that experience. And I've built some of my finest friends out of that market as well.
Wow. Thank you so much. Gladys, thank you so much for this.
Wow. Thank you so much, Vivian. That was very strategic. Wow. Thank you so much, Ade, for doing this. Amazing. The next person to ask a question is Boss Lady Unina Onura. Please unmute yourself and ask your question. And every other person, if you have any question, just put in the comment section. I can read your question out to him. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Ade, for educating us on residual income. But I just want to ask, I know you've mentioned it, how do you overcome the terror barrier? Like any strategy that you can advise us that we can use? Because you find out that you build, and then before you know it, you're just alone, like everything that you build just come crashing. Any form of advice, like strategy that we can use to revive our business?
Fantastic. You have asked a really, really great question. And the answer that I'm going to give to your question, I will be teaching myself while answering your question, because that same problem is not just you, it happens to a lot of leaders, and it happens over time, right? First of all, you're looking for is leaders. You're not looking for 1,000 people, whatever you have. You want leaders. Leaders will sort their own people. You get there, once you find the right leader and the leader comes into your organization, the leader is going to go out there, get the work done. He will face the rejection. He will do everything that you're complaining about right now or have complained about. The leader will face that challenges and will break through. So you're looking for leaders. When I met that guy in Mexico, he wasn't even the super leader. He is the leader. But if I tapped with him and found a lady who was pure Mexican who became the real core and went out there and, knocked out her head and faced the challenges. So having said that, and in any organization, you don't need more than 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 leaders to build a massive organization globally. You just need them spread across in the right places in your organization, right? Having said that, we're looking for leaders. The next thing is there scarcity of leaders? The answer is no, because again, remember that the universe creates abundance. We are the one that created the scarcity. So for you to be able to attract the type of leaders and build a massive business for your organization, what you need to be able to do is to go back and develop yourself, become the attractor, be the person who can attract. Because once your subconscious mind knows that with ease, great things can happen to you, great things begin to happen to you. Not your conscious mind, your subconscious. That deep. And I always recommend for anybody, become a student of Jim Rohn, become a student of Napoleon Hill. If you are a student of Napoleon Hill, go back and study the Think and Grow Rich. Because what happens is, once your subconscious mind can accept it, it starts sending you the resources of the right people one way or the other. So if you are stuck, we call it a plateau. If you are plateaued, meaning you are in a place you're not growing, as you're not going where you want to grow, and you're not going back, you're not going forward. A lot of people plateau, have plateaued too before. When you get a plateau, spend a lot of time going back on your personal development. Start working on yourself. Am I attractive enough? Am I getting the right people? Am I having the right conversations? Am I signaling the right thing? Am I thinking the right thing? The greatest thing is what your thought process. Am I saying the right thing? When I got to that situation, I got introduced to a guy who wrote a book called The Miracle Mornings, L. Harrod. And L. Harrod in his book started training my mind on how to use something called the SAVER principle, SAVERS, and how to use that SAVERS to control my internal power for the external results that I want. So, and part of the S is silence, or what people call meditation. The A is affirmation, what I say to myself, or what people call prayers. The V is visualization, or what people call imagination. The E is for exercise, making sure that I'm physically fit enough for my mind and my body to connect. The R is for reading. What do I read? What do I put inside myself? I have a book right now called the Quantum Leap. And I've been reading a lot on the Quantum Leap, how to jump from 2 to 20 without having to go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? The S is for scribing, journaling, writing down. So there's a lot of material out there that develops you. And once you develop yourself, the results begins to come out. Let me make it clear to you. Life is ease. It's not designed for plateaus. It's not designed to be difficult. It's designed that you go from one step to quantum step, or the next step, arithmetic or geometric progression. Is the natural design of life. We give birth to you, you're in kindergarten, you become a child, you keep going, and you go all the way till you get older and you die. It's the progression. Either you jump the progression through geometric, or you go in the normal progression through arithmetic. There gotta be movement. That's life. Change is part of life. So when you plateau, it's because you're not connecting or aligning with the universe. I tell you another problem you can have. You could be progressing in one part of your life, and another part is a little bit on plateau. That's a question for another day. We can spend a whole day talking about the strategies and principles for that. But what I wanted to be able to tell you is, every time you build a team, it goes. It's not just happening to you, it's happened to me so many times. It's because I need to focus on getting leaders. And for me to get leaders, I need to focus on myself and know that there's abundance of them out there. Because when a leader comes in, they're going to face that same challenge, but they are leaders. They'll keep building and building until they find their own leader. When they find their leader, they can go sleep. I mean, enough leaders for the organization to strive. I've been away, not doing much in my direct sales business in the last maybe 1 year or so. But my income hasn't stopped coming because I have people building, and they're building globally. So the point that I'm making is, but is that where I want to be? Am I at the top of my organization? Of course not yet. So it means that I need to go back there and work on myself. So I hired a coach that wakes up every single morning and shows me my blind spot. And we pay that coach thousands of dollars every single month. And people say, why are you paying so much? I'm like, you don't even have a clue what my destiny is, where I'm going with this destiny. You don't have a clue because you're seeing too small. So the point that I'm making is, of course, I'm not asking you to hire a coach. I'm asking you to go read, go do personal development. When you get to that level where you can afford it, yes. But at this point, go work on yourself. So we can go on and on and on. But all I just want you to know is, go back inward. The result is not outside. You're listening to the noise. The noise is outside. There's too much noise. The kids, the distraction, the body, everybody says this. Go back. Because once you get back, you understand the principles of you are already there. It's called the principle of I am. I am that I am. You're already there. You are already there. It's the same principle of knowing the end from the beginning. And is biblical, is in the Quran, is in the Buddhist law, is almost everywhere. Most of us just don't know. And I can point it to you over and over. I just don't want to distract this, conversation and take it somewhere else. But I'm saying, get back into the principle of I am. You are already there. You're already also. But you need to be able to build the power from inside to the outside. Once you do that, you'll find out that you go to a place and the leader is waiting there for you. Bring it back into your consciousness and things begins to connect from A to B. And that happened to me. I'll give you guys an example. And I hope that when I give examples, it doesn't sound braggadocious in any shape, way, or form. I said to myself when I was 36, I said, when I turn 40, I do not want to have to work for money for the rest of my life. When I say it, my friends will laugh. I'm like, no, when I turn 40, I will never have to work for money for the rest of my life. I turned 40 last December. 9 months before that time, everything just aligned in a way that thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just flow in from different multiple residual income opportunities. And all I have to do is wake up in the morning and find the problem of how to spend it. And when it happened, my friend said, you kept saying this thing. I said, yes. I said, I was focusing on the wrong thing, but at one point, I needed to go back inside and accept it that it is possible, that there's an abundance of it. And when I turned 40, it came with ease, a lot of ease. So There's so many things, you know. All I just need you to know is the power is within. It's not outside. It's not whatever. Somebody disappoints you. Somebody don't enjoy your business. Somebody don't do this. They are the. It's their loss. Wow. You are the power. You carry the power. Carry the power like you own the power. The power to know the end from the beginning. The power of I am. You are already where you think you're going to, or you think is your future, is already now. Isaiah 46 verse 10. Isaiah 45 verse 2, Jeremiah 1 verse 5. I can go Ecclesiastes 6 verse 10. If you're writing, write it down. I can go on and on and on and on. It's in the Buddhist law, it's in the Quranic law, it's everywhere, but you just don't know it. You're not in your consciousness. You're letting it go slide by. You're struggling when you're supposed to be working with ease. So take it away that if few things they don't break, they are lost. Go back and reclaim your power within. Once you reclaim your power within, everything external happens with ease. With ease. With absolute ease. At the perfect timing of the universe. When I say the universe, I equate it with God. The perfect timing of the universe. You can't force the universe. The universe will know when you're ready. You go do the work. You go and build you from the inside out. The universe will align everything for you when the universe feels that you have done what is required. You know what I'm saying? I hope I answered your question. I'll leave it. I think I'm ranting too much.
No, you're not.
Thank
you're
you
hitting
so
the
much.
nail.
You're not. The power within. You say that you go and reclaim the power within. I get that.
And this guy wrote a book on that, The Power Within. The most popular speaker of all time now. Jeez. He just wrote a book on power within. 1 minute. 1 minute. I'm just going to my Audible to look it up.
Guys, are we taking notes? Take notes so you can be able to go back and get these books.
The Power Within. There's a book on it. What is wrong with me? I'm prophet. What is wrong with me? I'm prophet. Power Within. Jim Rohn wrote a book on Power Within. It's Jim Rohn wrote a book on Power Within.
Okay.
And I just finished that book. I just looked it up.
Wow. Okay.
Jim Rohn has a book on Audible, $9. That's on the Power Within. You know, and also I just quickly looked it up from my library, my online library.
Yeah. Thank you, Ade. With all of the answers that you've given, all I can hear from you is personal development before residual income. Nobody actually made it without not being personally developed. So I really love the fact that, because this is what we keep preaching, mindset is all about residual income. If you have the right mindset, you can be able to get whatever you want in this life. So I have Mr. Ifeanyi in one row. He would like to ask his question. So at least we have a man in our midst to ask. It's been ladies.
Before Mr. Ifeanyi, I wanted to be able to put it, you can do both concurrently, developing yourself and building your residual income. It's not a finish to start relationship. Okay. It could be a concurrent, could be a start to start relationship. You're developing yourself. Your result might not be as big as you expect it to be, but as you invest in yourself, you know, you start seeing the bigger results. And this is not just in direct sales, right? I've made incredible amount of success in and outside direct sales that I didn't have to wake up in the morning to go to work to. And I can give you things. If you're following me on YouTube, there's a lot of videos that I put on YouTube. I ran a 30-day courses on my Instagram as well. It's on my Facebook. It's free. It just talks about multiple opportunities from everywhere that you can, you know, make residual from. But the one that I like the most of all of my residual income opportunities is direct sales. The reason why I like it is direct sales forced me out of my comfort zone. It made me go and build myself. And once I built myself, every other thing started becoming easy. So that's why I always recommend every single person should have direct sales in their, you know, in their portfolio. You know, the business of 21st century, Robert Kiyosaki, he explained it all. You know, how you can become B without becoming A or C. You don't produce anything. You know, you're not the one consuming. You just sit in the middle and you connect A and C, and then you make money doing that. Mr. Ifeanyi, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Ifeanyi, please unmute yourself, your co-host. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Day. Mr. Great webinar, learning a lot. It's a question, it's a contribution as well. Developing yourself, that is coming to the stage of getting to know your what. If I can deduce what you are telling us about I am that I am, that is ability to trust in yourself. you know, and I want you to relate it with fear of the unknown. Take, for example, when you were talking about your Spanish, your partners, that you want to delve into business in Mexico, and you don't know an iota of Spanish, and which is what most of us in this our own business faced a lot, because we are here in our country of residence. We don't know what goes on in the other 26 or 27 countries we operate. So I want you to just liken it with your experience. How were you able to overcome the power of unknown, fear? And fear means false evidences appearing to be real. So please tell us how you went about that. And that has also helped you in your business. Thank you.
Fantastic. Again, the opposite of fear is always faith, right? Faith is the ability to believe on the unknown, of things hoped for, evidence of things yet unseen. Hebrews 11 verse 1. And I'm not a pastor in any shape or way. It's part of personal development and understanding how things relate. The point that I'm making is this, right? Fear is almost inevitable. It would always be there. As long as you're human, fear will be there. But once your fear gets in, the process of personal development also teaches you the concept of faith, because you cannot be fearful without having faith. Your success level is either what degree are you? Fear and faith are the extreme opposites. Are you more on the fearful part, or are you more on the faith part? I'll tell you me. When I want to get involved in something, fear is going to kick in as by default. But at the same time, I'm going to remind myself the concept of faith. Napoleon Hill, in the Think and Grow Rich book, spent a significant amount of time talking about faith, not biblical. General principle of life, faith is part of it. If you wake up as a child and they say, go to school, go to university, it's a faith that at the end of the day, you're going to get a good job. Doesn't necessarily mean you get a good job. You're going there and saying, oh, let me pay money, let me put my time, let me put my energy, and I know at the end of the day, I'll become a doctor and I'll be rich. You can finish, graduate the same day and die the next day. It doesn't really matter. You might dare and never get a job. You might not even like the job and get something else. But there's a faith that at the end of the road, there's something that comes my way. Okay, so fear is here, always on the left side. Faith is always here. By default, as human, because of the way you've been configured, you are configured towards the path of fear, not the path of faith. You now, that you're now in your own consciousness, you're walking at every point in time, trying to walk yourself towards the path of faith. Fear is this, faith is this, you're in the middle, you're always leaning towards fear. You are now, because you're conscious of the ability and the power of your faith, you're now trying to move towards the end. Okay. When I mentioned to you guys before that, before you were born, you've already been formed and your head has already, most of the time, been determined. Your potential, what you can do, what you cannot do. It's just for you to be able to run into it. It's already been defined. So if I know that my path is always good and something good is going to happen in almost everything that I do, if my conscience is clear and I'm doing the right thing, even if there's difficulty on my way, it leads to my path of greatness. So when I have challenges, obstacles, I know, well, oh my God, when Mexico happened to me, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh my God, this is a sign that something big is going to happen in Mexico. My wife called me right away and said, get on the next plane, get back home. That place is dangerous. This is, at the same time, I was like, no, baby, this is different. This is just telling me there's a lot of good things that's going to happen in this market. I'm going to get my best friends in this market because I lean towards my faith. I had a feel, oh my God, this is a panic. Oh my God, you know what? Maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. Let me move back to my fear factor. No, I decided to embrace my faith factor. Everybody told me this is the time to back out. But deep inside me, I had a conviction that this is the time for me to pursue. Now let me take you back into the saver principle that I talked about before, and I'm going to talk about the S, the silence. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time to talk about the silence. Every single day, regardless of your religion, who you are, where you're coming from, there's something deep inside you. It's like a conscience that's always speaking to you. The reason why you're not hearing is because you're too busy and there's too much noise out there and there's so many things that you're doing that you miss out that little tiny voice that is talking to you. Find some time when you get to a place where you're afraid of something or your fear kicks in, find some time to just quiet up your mind, shutting everything down, and, take some days to maybe, listen from deep inside of you. Shut your mind down. Be as quiet as you can. Take away the phone, take away the wherever, take away the TV, take everything. Just be in a quiet place. That's how Alexander Bell gets most of his inspiration. Then you find out that where you're going, there's a conviction that says we can go there, and you will step into it, even though you don't know what the result will be like. You have to always be in pursuit of faith. Take, for example, if I want to build Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, a big business in the Republic of Ireland, I'm going to go to my phone and look for all the people that I know that live in Ireland. And I'm going to call them up and I'm going to sell them the vision of what I'm going to do in Ireland. I'm going to tell them I'm going to come to Ireland. I'm going to build a massive business. I'm going to build a business in this, that. Who do you know that you can introduce me to that can work? That's how I make Gladys, in all fairness. That's how I make Gladys. Unfortunately, we don't have business in Ireland. Again, that's how I make Gladys. I called. When we did that business in Ireland, I was like, yeah, who do you know? Who do you know that's that person who can knock doors? Let me have a conversation with them. And when I finish talking with Gladys, I'm like, man, what you're doing really, really good. I support it. There's no point in decoring where you're already clear where you're going to. And I'm like, that's how we do, we move. So back to you, Mr. Ifeanyi. Fear will always be there. Faith will always be there. They are extreme opposites. Every time that you feel fear, always remember that faith is there. It's just which one is strong and which one is weak. The Art of Man, a book written by John Conrad, always says that the heart of a man is the heart of a beast. In that beast, there's the angel and there's the beast. The question is, which one are you unleashing? Are you unleashing the beast or are you unleashing the angel? The most wicked person they have world still has a kind, good heart somewhere. All he has done is bring out the beast more. So you're seeing the bad. You see that same most wicked person in the world very vulnerable around their kids or vulnerable around their mother or vulnerable around something. You're wondering, how can this guy be so wicked and be so kind to this? This is the way we're designed. The life is always polar opposite. Joy, sorrow, money, night. It's always polar opposite. That's the same thing with fear and faith. It's always a question of where are you leaning towards. If you find out that you're leaning towards fear too much, go back and work on yourself. I can give you 10 books that's going to help you build your faith, make you stronger, so you understand how the great minds have worked and how all of them have attained their greatness using the power of faith and foiling their fear to use their power of faith to get them where they are going to go. So if you want to build business in international business in other markets, start joining Facebook groups, join Instagram groups, ask friends, who do you know who knows somebody in this market? Start conversation. Go join a gym. Go join a Latino gym in Dublin. There are Latinos living in Dublin. Go join their gym, where you're going to meet people that are originally from Mexico. That's how we got into the Peru market anyways. Go join gym. Go find where Latinos go to Latino dance parties. Make conscious efforts to find people who are from there and then, start a relationship with them. And because you believe you're going to build a massive organization out of that place, the belief is going to help in your result when you continue to put action in being able to. I hope I've been able to touch your question a little bit.
Oh, thank you so much, Ade. Thanks for that. You've done that, and that is what we practice in our business. We launch in, put fear behind, and take faith forward. Thank you so much for that clarification. Thank you, but appreciated.
You're welcome,
Thank
sir.
you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Ifeanyi, for asking. Wow, one last question before we go. Thank you so much, Mr. Ade, for doing this. And I want to talk to everyone. Yeah, I actually had some fear when I was trying to talk to Ade last week Sunday, right? I was like, I don't know if he's going to say no to this call. Fear is always a default factor in everything that we want to do in life. Fear is always there. I had this fear, but I said to myself, the worst thing he's going to say is no. No, Gladys, I can't come. And when I just said it immediately, he responded and said, yes, I'll be delighted to come. And then faith won over fear. And that's why we're here today. So if you want to win in anything, use your faith factor and being the fear. So I have Estali's last person to ask question. Estali's, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Your co-host right now to the call. So yeah, I'll run it up. Estali's, unmute yourself. Yeah, thank you, boss lady.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Ade. Well, in fact, I'm so honored and very grateful that I'm able to attend this meeting tonight. Thank God I'm not working tonight. The question I would like to ask you, I know you probably have touched on it before I joined the meeting. I joined a little bit late. Is when I came in, you were talking about starting a journey of personal development. Not only for myself, I want to believe there are quite a few people that have just joined this business, and I would like to know exactly some things that we can do to start that journey of personal development. Just for you to please just share with us a few nuggets or a few tips of what we can do to develop ourselves personally. I want that as well. I want to know. I see you're a man of knowledge, and I would like to know what you have to say about that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I appreciate your kind words. So there are two ways to do it. Either you go by association or you go by personal search. Association in terms of mentors, being around a circle of people who are doing a lot of growth and personal development, and what they're seeding into your life is in alignment with the direction that you want to go in life. That's one part. The other part is self-search. Self-search is the business. Listen, there are two ways. There's so much information online right now that you could become a PhD holder in personal development without even paying a dime. YouTube alone has a ridiculous amount of. You just have to be able to say, I'm dedicating this amount of time every single day religiously to developing myself. But I always recommend Audible because I don't like to physically read physical books. If you like to read books, Kindle is there, or you can go to Amazon and place orders. Audible, you buy the ultimate work of Jim Rohn. If you're in the world of direct sales, there are some people you have to listen to. They're like masters of this thing. One of them is Zig Ziglar. The ultimate work of Zig Ziglar is $19. One free credit a month. I think $11 or so, $12, something as cheap as that. The ultimate work of Zig Ziglar. The ultimate work of Jim Rohn. The ultimate work of John Maxwell. The ultimate work of Tony Robbins. All these books are like $12, $11, whatever, one note. Get a subscription to Audible. If you do not want to do that, go to YouTube. Put in Jim Rohn. Every day, listen. So you have to schedule a time for personal development. It's not an accident. You must schedule a time. I wake up 6 o'clock every single day because every 6:30, I have a group of people that we meet and we just do mindset work together. We start with meditation, then we go to visualization, then we go to something called the quantum leap, how to move instead of progressing, you jump. Quantum leap is instead of you going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. And I became a club of that 6 a.m. club, just so that every single day I know I've dedicated 30 minutes on working on my mind, seeing clearly where I'm going to in terms of vision, affirming what I want in terms of affirmation, go into silence and listen to what the universe, God wants to tell me about what I need to do on a daily basis, because it's talking, it's just you that's not listening. You're spending time praying instead of you to be listening to him and him talking to you instead of you talking to him. He's always talking to you. The universe is always talking to you. You're not listening. So a significant amount of time just shutting down my mind to meditate every day. Once that 30 minutes is done, I dedicate another 30 to 45 minutes where I personally read. Before anybody calls me, tells me anything, I've already put in 1 hour, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 20 minutes reading. I set it every day. No, anything, whatever happens. And if I ever miss my other 30, 45 minutes, if I drive my car, I don't listen to radios. I'm always listening to one book inside my Audible because I know when I'm driving, I cannot sleep off. I'm not watching TV. I'm stuck in there for 30 minutes or whatever it is. I put in good stuff into my mind. And that's why you see all these pieces of not just coming everywhere, because it's over time of putting good stuff inside yourself. Whenever fear comes into my mind, I block it, I redirect it, I convert it to my faith, and I move on. Sometimes if I don't convert it as fast as I can, I convert it into affirmation. I say the opposite. Somebody just say, oh, your car is going to crash. I start saying, no, my car cannot crash. I am Adibaba. I'm designed to live a healthy life. I'm designed to be healthy, wealthy, and happy. This is my life. I must be happy, I must be wealthy, and I must be healthy. The three must happen to me. So if I'm healthy, I cannot have fall into an accident. I cannot be sad. I cannot be, you understand me? I still tell you, I am healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm happy. You understand what I'm saying? So it's over time, and I start learning, okay, less and less I kill my fear, more and more my faith is coming. Less and less I think less of what cannot happen. Now and more I think of more what things can happen over time, bit by bit, day by day, bit by bit. And I find that when the other people are saying, oh, this thing won't work, and I start looking at why is my default thinking that things will always work? because I've designed my mind that great things would happen to me. In terms of money, I've been saying to myself for the last 4 or 5 years, after I read it in a personal development book, that money flows to me constantly and continuously in an increasing fashion from multiple sources, and I invest it well. Money flows to me. So every time there's a flip of money, I just remind myself, but money flows to you constantly and constantly. Call for it. The universe is abundance. Call for your money. It's there. Trust me, between 6 hours, 9 hours, an idea will come, something will come, somebody will come off my phone and say, hey, Ade, you did something for me a long time ago. This is the funds. And before I know it, my bank account is back full. It never dries. It's always coming. It doesn't have to come from direct sales. It comes from everywhere. My channels are open abundantly. So my point is this: schedule your time. Make it religious. Don't let anything tamper with it. Even if it's just 1 hour a day, 40 minutes a day. You can start with 20 minutes a day. Schedule it. Put some good stuff inside of your mind. Make sure you're always dropping it. Over time, it grows like a drop of water. It grows to a point where when you speak in front of people, they'll start be like, oh my God, this guy's mind is like magical. Would I have a great life? I'm going to have a fantastic life. If you are my friend, trust me, you would have a fantastic life by default. I'm telling you that, except you don't want it. Because I already know that I'm designed for greatness. I'm designed for something really big. And every day, I'm seeing something bigger than what I'm seeing today. I'm seeing an idea that is 10 times bigger. I see it clearly in my eyes. As I'm speaking to you guys, I'm right here. I have my own vision board. I carry it almost everywhere with me. It's in my room, it's in my table. I look at it every day. I know clarity. I'm clear of where I'm going to. And all that happened is because I started reading. I started, putting some time. 1 hour every day, 1 hour every day. You understand me? At some point, I put more, and I make sure that I don't put less. Every single day, 365 a day. There's no day off. Because if I eat to keep my body alive, and I either go to church or mosques or wherever I go to keep my spirit alive, what do I do to keep my mind alive? So if I can feed my body and feed my spirit, what happens to my mind? And there's nowhere you go to feed your mind. It's your work to do that. Once you can feed your mind and be religious enough to feed your mind, then you can attain greatness. If not, you will just be struggling. It's mechanical, struggling. No, it's not supposed to be designed to be struggle. It's designed to be easy. Ease. It's supposed to be easy. I hope I answered your question, Esther.
You over answered the question. Thank you so much. I couldn't stop smiling. Thank you so much for answering. To be honest, I've taken a lot down, and yes, I just believe that you're waking up a lot of giants here tonight. So thank you so much for.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it as well.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, sir.
I really do appreciate it as well. I really appreciate it as well.
Thank you so much, Adim Mabo. I'm so delighted that you said yes to this call. So delighted. So everyone, an investment in your personal development is the best investment you can make. So you can see that he has it. So like I keep saying to everyone in my team, the business, personal development is key. When you have that, every other thing will flow in. Thank you so much. We're gonna come off right now. Just one last thing to anyone that is skeptical regarding residual income. Just one last question. Anyone still skeptical regarding this thing? Yeah.
Direct sales is the fastest way to be able to get into the world of residual income. It doesn't require money. It could be your 5 to 9, get your regular 9 to 5, roll up your sleeve and continue to work. And I can tell you for sure, you are in the right path. A lot of the greats have all been the same paths: the Zig Ziglar, the Jim Rohns, the Tony Robbins, all of them. They've, Robert Kiyosaki, almost all of them. At one point or the other, they've been in the world of direct sales. There's a huge market for it. But there's also a lot of other ways in any type of industry that you have that you can create residual income. It's not just in the direct sales world. You can create it. And there's nothing wrong having multiple residual income from multiple sources. But the thing that direct sales does is if it takes you out of your comfort zone and then puts you on your uncomfortable zone. And in the process, it develops you to a point where your uncomfortable zone becomes your comfort zone. The others don't do that. So you can build residual income from another place and you lose everything, and then, oh my God, and then you have a bad gut. When you build through direct sales, it solidifies your mind because it forces you to develop yourself. So therefore, even if you start doing other things, you start transferring that inner power from the direct sales knowledge into almost all of those kind of things. That's why I am in almost 11 19 streams of income in 11 industries, because I started from direct sales and it solidified my mind. You can follow me on iamademabo.com on Instagram. You can go on YouTube and put in Ademabo. There's a lot of videos I put it in there. I just didn't promote it, just put it in there for somebody who wants. And of course, I do have a website. It's called iamademabo.com. It just talks a lot about residual and everyone, the pros, the cons, and almost of all of them. Again, I will always be a direct sales person. Somebody tells me, are you still doing this company? And I tell them, I'll probably do this and I'll die. If I stop doing everything else, this is the only thing I'll never stop doing, because it forces me to be like, you can be the next, you can be this, you can be that, in the process of doing that. Life is designed to be easy. I'll allow that to sink in. Life is designed to be easy. And life itself has abundance. It's not somebody told you that, Steve told you economics is the word about study of scarcity. I don't know what he's talking about. Life is designed to be abundant. Abundance here, and I'm not talking about all the money in the world. I'm talking about all of the things you need: the happiness, the family life, the time, the good balance of all of it that makes you become happy out of miserable, because the universe wants you to be happy, the universe wants you to be wealthy, and the universe wants you to be healthy. The universe wants three of them. Once you start seeing that you are not in alignment with all of that, that's when you begin to start having something like disease. Disease. You are misaligning yourself from ease. Life is designed to be easy. So if you know that a life is abundance and life is designed to be easy, and everything is supposed to flow to you abundantly according to how you want it and according to your ability of faith, then spend some time to build that faith and transfer that into your direct sales business. Say to yourself every day, that great leader is walking to me. He comes with ease. They are sure everywhere. Everywhere that I go, leaders are there. They are the one approaching me. And you know one funny thing? It would happen over time. So go out there, roll up your sleeve, get to work, and become the best that you can be. And I'm glad again to be here, as always, to be able to support almost all of you for in whatever that you guys are doing. And I wish you guys all the best.
Wow. Thank you so much. To all our audience, just wherever place you're watching, if you're looking to go into direct sales opportunity, you have where to go right now. So you can either reach out to whoever you're watching this live stream from, and we can be able to connect you to get started. So we're all going to say thank you now. I'm going to let everybody unmute themselves, and we say thank you to Mr. Ademabo. Let's say thank you now. Everyone, please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself now.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ade.
Appreciate everything.
Thank you. We appreciate everything.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you
so much.
God bless you. Thank you. We have benefited. Thank you.